starting off with that one that Zach said. I'll keep it brief. I got a whole LME talking about Saw X that we're working on right now, and we are going to want to do a whole like Saw timeline. Saw X fits somewhere in the middle, and literally somewhere in the middle, because this is a series where they jump all around. You know, there's this like spiral thing that they do in where you're technically supposed to be looking at the movies intertwining within each other, and I do kind of find that fascinating. At the same time, it's also become this jigsaw puzzle where none of the pieces really fit. This one is decent. If you're not a fan of the franchise, you're not going to fall in love with it. If you are a fan of the franchise, I think they take it back to its roots, which is this idea that John Kramer, played by literally the person you need to have or else it's not going to be a good Saw movie, Tobin Bell. This man truly believes that he is like doing Shakespeare with this, right? He doesn't see himself as this mastermind of evil. This man sees himself as like a doctor, a prophet, a savior. He puts you through these traps in order for you to come out the other side, evaluating life differently. He's decent in this movie. I think he does a pretty good job. They bring back some of the fan favorites. This is actually supposed to fit. I know you've been really curious about this. It fits in between Saw 1 and Saw 2.
Yeah, so, they've been saying it's like Saw 1.5.
Yeah, this man is not dating aged a day at all. But so are the other ones. A lot of the other ones are Saw 0.5s and 1.5s as well. Look, I think this one's decent. The traps are just as crazy as before. The one that you see right there on the cover, I think, would be one of the standout ones.
Is that the one involving brains? I heard there's one involving brains that's a little...
Yes, because this all has to do with like a surgery gone wrong. So those are really the themes behind it. The brain matter one is pretty disgusting. I would not recommend it for you, Zach. I will say though, going back on all of my research, before this series got off the rails, obviously it came from the minds of James Wan and Lee Wynell.
Yeah.
But this is also a series where the first one played at Sundance. Like the first one started off as a short. When it did its run at Sundance, where it blew up so much, like they were getting ready for the sequel already. And from there, obviously, they took it to become a Halloween staple where you were getting one of these a year until I think it was a High School Musical beat it around the 5th one. And then by the 6th one, Paranormal Activity came in and we've had Blumhouse ever since. And then, they kind of stopped. They've tried to have a couple of reboots. Spiral doesn't even get included on here. Which,
I was going to say, I was curious about it for the inclusion of Chris Rock. That was that weird, like, sort
COVID.
Of in the COVID release. I just ended up missing it.
Yeah, well, they don't count it, which is weird because then it would be 8, not 10. So you do kind of have to count it. This one's a decent outing for those who really like it. I don't think it's better than 1. I know a lot of people are fans of 2 and 6. I'd put it right after those because it's kind of just like an HD version, I guess 4K version of those movies as we get to sneak in there with another story for John Kramer. So if you're curious for it, we had a jam-packed theater for this. But Zach, how is this not the number 1 release of the week? For those who don't know, I didn't even have it pulled up here because I was not expecting this. I thought Saw X was automatically going to be the one that people were going to be, hounding to the theaters for. I checked the box office. You saw what took it?
I mean, the reliable Paw Patrol. I think the last one took number 1 too, didn't it? Or was that a direct?
No, the other one, Paw Patrol the movie, released 2021, was a simultaneous release between this and I think Paramount Plus. So when I see Paw Patrol the Mighty movie trailers playing, and I swore I saw this already out, bro, they just added Mighty to the movie like a kid's meal, and number 1 at the box office, damn near doubled what everybody else was getting. I want to say it was in the 30s while everything else was like in the teens. I did not catch this, so I guess we're going to have to go do our duty and go catch up on the number 1 movie of the week, which is Paw Patrol the Mighty movie, or just wait 2 weeks, and it'll be out on Paramount Plus where they can save a lot of money if you're a parent.